Hello folks, it's JDporkchop and welcome to another episode of Surviving Space Engineers. Today we are going to talk about drones, autopilot, and we're going to start building our base properly, like actually build parts of it. So, as we talked about, I built the second drone. It has the welder down. I've also added a couple of small little batteries on the back. I don't know how much that's going to help, but we'll see. You know, all these designs are always being iterated upon, so if it doesn't work, then we'll change it. On the back of this one, there's a little timer block, and we'll discuss why that's there now. So, if you want to set an auto docking sequence, the first thing you need to do is you need to take control of the drone, and you have to do it while taking control. You need to line up above, but do not dock with where you want to dock. So basically, like, the best way to do it is probably dock and then undock, and while those rings are blue, make your GPS location. And the reason for that is it has to be exactly where that remote control block is. Then make a second one above. Now if we go into this and we go to the remote control, you'll see there are two waypoints set up. You add waypoints by going to GPS locations, select one, and add. I also have flight mode set to one way. I've turned the speed down. Collision avoidance is off. Precision mode is on. That's pretty much all the settings that I've changed. Right, so the waypoints, it will do them in order from top to bottom. So it's going to go to the approach point first, which is directly above the dock. Okay? It's then, after that, going to go to the second location, which is the actual dock itself. And there it is going to trigger an action. You set up actions by selecting and then set up actions. The action is, it will set off the timer block. The timer block will then tick for 6 seconds, and after it has ticked for 6 seconds, it will lock the connector, set its battery to recharge, and turn off the welder. Because I always forget to turn them off. Now, that is all of that. You must make sure that your waypoints are set up correctly and named properly. If you do not, if you are docked to this when you make your dock waypoint, then the lineup for it will be off, because it will take into account your base as well when making the GPS location. And here is a little clip of me trying to get this to work 10 minutes ago and messing it up horrendously. And autopilot on. Right, okay. That's not... You can just stop doing that now, please. Oh, it's breaking stuff. Oh. Okay. I think here's a good place to cut. So yes, make sure that your connectors, your GPS locations are lined up with your connectors. Now, what we will do is going to connect to the back of this, and I'm just going to go turn the battery back to auto. I'll set up a way of sort of auto doing this in the near future, but just for now we want to unlock. Now this thing was draining a huge amount of power every time I was charging up that battery, so I've put another battery there and I've stuck some solar panels on. But anyway, let's take control. Let's fly away from the base. And then we will just turn around and we will come out of this. So, you now need to go back into remote access, my welder, and we need to go to the terminal, straight to the bottom, remote control, autopilot on. This time, hopefully, no explosions. It goes to the approach point, it then sicks its way down, turns the timer block on, and after 6 seconds, which is just a bit of time for it to settle into position, that's now locked, the battery is charging, and the welder is off. Perfect. And it should be able to do that from, anywhere. Within reason. So, with that done, now, the problem is with this one, is how do you do it when the remote control isn't above the connector? The answer to that question is, I don't know. But I will try and find it out, and I will try and work out a way of doing it. But for now, this one we'll have to just dock it manually. But that's not really that much of a problem, because we're only going to use this for places where, flat places like this. So I have put some plates in our little downward-facing welder. Sadly, it doesn't seem to like it if I fill it up. It'll only get to about 3,000. So in hindsight, probably should have put a medium box on it. Like I said before, normally I have nuclear reactors, and we will aim to get those soon, and that sort of changes it all, because you can just put as many thrusters on it as you want, and you don't care. But we only have batteries. So, let's just get to here, and go to the connector. And I'm going to stick this connector stuff onto a control panel thing soon, because I'm sick of having to do it by hand. Connector. Unlock. Hey, it didn't fall. That's good. Right, so we're going to go into our remote, and we're going to take control. And why are you not giving me the camera view? Probably because I didn't set it up. So, go in here, terminal, remote control. We have, if I remember rightly, actually this one has 2 cameras, assigned camera, so we'll use camera 1 for normal flight, and then we will go here, go to take control. Oh, still connected. Are we still connected? Seems so. Right, we're going to go into this. I think it relocked to it because it was yellow. It needs to be blue for you to pull away. Right, cameras. So it's probably going to be that one. You. And that one. You. I hope so, otherwise we're going to connect to the wrong camera. Right. So, disconnect. Pull back. And yeah, it is the wrong camera, so let's just quickly change that. Quickly. There we go. And I've also, it seems, put the wrong welder on. And toggle block. There we go, right. Definitely all good now. And the only thing I'm worried about now is distance from my character. So you only have a 200 meter, although actually no, because he will be relaying off some of the other aerials that are there. I cannot see a thing through this camera. This was the reason we changed the mining buggy, why we decided to put it back to its normal way of doing things, because it just wasn't working, because your view is so restricted through these little cameras. And I don't know if there's any way of like boosting it to make it better, or it's probably a mod that does it. Right, we turn the welder on. We'll go to, wow, we need to get some lights on this thing. Yeah! Okay, we're good. It's working. Let's just... oh yeah, we can do like 2 at the same time. Okay. Now let's just zip along. Okay, so it was a lot of work to get to this point, but this is definitely quicker. Would you not all agree? Well, kinda quicker. uh, I feel like in the time that it took me to do this, I probably could have just gone and welded it all by hand, but that's, you know, that's nowhere near as much fun. Very much keeping an eye on that battery timer, and it seems to be hovering around the sort of 17 minutes. So, you know, I think we can get 20 minutes of power out of it each trip. So obviously it's not going to be running at full every time. Maybe 15, you know, you want a safety margin. Right. Now, I think you kind of get the idea now, and I'm probably going to do the rest of this off camera. Actually, in all honesty, we're probably at the point of want to wrap this up. I'm going to dock up. Wow, that takes me back to Eve. I'm going to dock this thing up, and we are going to have a little look at the time and stuff, and I'll probably do some more welding off camera. Okay, guys? So we're only at about 12 minutes, so we've got plenty of time. Right, so on two cargo loads, this is how much we did. So, and this was done in like 10 minutes. So, yes, 100%, it is much quicker. The only thing, be careful, I almost crashed it. If the welder starts to sort of drag along the ground a little bit, and you begin to tip to one side, because it's only got one gyro and only one thruster in each cardinal direction, if it tips, you'll never save it. It will crash and blow up. And I was very lucky. I was at the edge, and I sort of fell off the edge and managed to pull it up before hitting the ground. But that could have gone really badly wrong. Anyway, so we've used up all the battery charge, and until the sun comes up, which it looks like it's just about to do, we can't really use it anymore. We are going to get a more reliable power source, more reliable battery charging once this is built, and but for now, once the sun's come up, that should be enough. So, at least there's enough done for us to start talking about design and layout. So, I am rubbish at making things look pretty, so we are going to try to make it look pretty. One of the ways I'd like to make it pretty is we're going to put some windows in. And I want to mark those windows. So, 2, another one there, 2, another one there, 2, and another one there. I'd really like to know down in the comments for the 10 or so people, if I'm lucky, the 5 or so people that are actually watching this, do you want to see more of it being built, or would you rather I cut most of that out and go, right, ta-da, it's finished? Because, 2 episodes of me just placing blocks could get a little tedious. I don't know, but I have, as we've discussed, I have a very, very small viewership, subscribership, whatever you want. So if you ask for something, I can probably deliver it because you're the only person asking. So I think what we're going to do is sort of have these bands, and I'm thinking like we'll do the main building like a light blue, and then these bands are going to be like white, and then there's going to be windows in between here, like set back a bit. So I'm just doing this now so that well, I should just sort of start laying things out. I don't want to get halfway through the build and then realise things don't fit the way I want them to fit. So that is that. Now down the centre, I've deliberately made this an odd number. It should be 9 or 11, I can't remember. Looks about 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, no, it's not. Can't obviously. eyeballing it wasn't going to work. So that should be the middle? No. That's the middle. Okay. So, either side of the middle, we are going to have the... Now, let's think about this a second. We're going to have one more, so it's going to be one more window there. Then, yes, there. Then, well, do it like that. Yes, I'm not against this. That, and then fill it in. If I can find the right direction. There we go. Now, at the end here, just sort of where I'm hovering right now, there's going to be a landing pad, and that's going to be for ships landing full of ore and stuff. And we want that to be dropped down into a large, super large container box. Just so that we never have any sort of backflow. Or backup, you know, we can always be filling it up. So that's going to go, what? There? Middle? Yeah. No. Oh, I'm really terrible at this. Right. So it's going to go there. That should be the middle. So if I put another one there and another one... No, it's still not there. How am I making such a pig's ear of this? So there's one on the side there. So... 1, 2... 1, 2... So everything needs to come across 1. Okay, that's fine, we can do that. Back one, that goes there. This gets cut. This gets cut. Here we go. See, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, is this boring? I think it's boring. I think I should cut this bit out. But some people like to see the process. And, you know, there's a process. And we're working through a process to you know, get to that build. It's just how much of it do we show? Right, light block. So we're going to put... No, I need the slope block. There we go. Okay, so that's going to go there. That's going to go there. So we're going to have... This is going to be our ore storage. And then off of that, let's say a gap of 2, 3? Yeah, 3. This is where the refineries are going to go. So let's get those out. And we're going to build a lot of refineries. Not ridiculous. I think I'm jumping between 4 and 6. It's probably going to be 4. And why can't I find them? I'll tell you what I can't find them. So I'm trying to talk to you and look for things. Refinery. There we go. So let's put that there. Let's get rid of this junk. We don't need that. Okay, so get rid of that. And think about this. So I want them back to back with enough space to walk down the middle, plus the have space for the go away space for the upgrades. So we put one there. No, no, no. One there. So that would be correct. So 1, 2, 3 on that side, and 1, 2, 3 on that side. Bingo. Okay. And then obviously the back is all opened up, and we can put the upgrades on the back, and we've got plenty of walking space down either side, plenty of space for pipes and whatever. Okay? Now, do I need a gap between the top of these and the roof? I'm thinking yes, just for additional pipe work. So let's just go up and up again, up one more. Now remember, these ribs are going to be sort of offset off the main wall. That's where the wall is. So that means that for us to have, that's where the ceiling's going to be. Just better grind that away, and that, I tell you, sometimes I do some really dumb stuff. So that's where that's going to go. Okay. And bingo. Then the ribbing will go there. And then in between each sort of gap, I'm going to put solar panels. The sun rises over there and it sets over there, so it's going to basically go right over the top of this base. So if I put a load of solar panels on it, it should power the whole thing. Sorry for that little cut. I'm at home today, obviously, and interruptions seem to keep getting in the way. Where were we? What were we talking about? Yeah, so I'm going to keep adding on to this slowly as we go, and sort of try and balance it between what bits I think need to be in and which bits don't, and see where we go. I think so far though, I'm looking kind of good. So let's sort of figure out how we want to do the windows next, I guess. I have... No. Is that where the ribbon goes? No. Oh. See, this is what happens when you don't pay attention. The thing's in the wrong place. Right. Ramp. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. No. Ah! Ooh. I am really lucky to survive that. I brought my little buggy over. He is down there, mostly just to recharge because the battery on the mining thing was dead. Do you know what I should do? In all honesty, is put like a little put a chair on this, so I can just sit in the chair when I'm AFK. Because I do leave this game running sometimes with like, you know, if I fill it up at all and it's got tons to do, or I leave like a big pile of jobs for it to assemble. Oh, out of ice. I'll get some more later. It's not like we're short of ice. Right, what are we doing? We're working on this bit. So, windows. Windows. Actually, I tell you, we might not have windows unlocked. We don't. To unlock windows, we have to build a interior block. So, just head quickly back to the base and build one. Now what do I need? Construction components. There we go. And build that. And unlocks new blocks. There we go. We'll get some glass out. Let's put that back. Get some glass, get some girders. That'll do. Girders. Go. So, the way I was sort of thinking it was... Now, should I raise the window up one? No. I think I'll have it at ground level. Where? Windows. Windows, bingo. So I need the 2x3. 2x3? 2x3. So we'll put one... That's the wrong button. There. No. There. Okay, so that is a good start. That doesn't need to be there then, does it? Maybe I won't put windows in every single one. Maybe I'll do alternative ones. So, no, yes, still on the other side where I've actually put the ribbing. So that needs to go. So we need to put, let's have a look, spin that around. So no, yes, no, so one there, one there, ooh, one there. Actually that works out quite well, doesn't it? It's, yeah, I like that. So that's what we'll do. And then the rest of it will obviously be walls. What I think I might do is actually behind the ribbing, instead of just having solid blocks, we will, if I can, like, do that. And that side. So let's just this up a bit. And see how that looks. Wow, these need a lot of glass. Wow, good thing we've got a load of silicon. Obviously from crushing all those rocks down, we've only really been using the iron and a little bit of nickel here and there, so we have tons of silicon. So I think the only thing to use it in is computers, and so that needs to get removed. But obviously I want to keep it connected to that. I'm just going to fall. So we'll just put there for now. Oh no. No, that was in the right place. Oh, what am I doing? Right, I think at this point we're getting close to wrapping up anyway, so I'll probably sort of finish all the windows off, weld up all the huge amount of like this side that needs to be done, maybe put in the ribs and some of the walls, but I won't do anything interior. Mostly because A, it means we get to use our other welder to come in here and do some cool stuff, and two, just because I think that at least will be a bit more interesting than watching me, you know, put in windows. But if your opinion is different and you do want to see me putting windows in, then feel free to add that in the comment section. But for now, I think this is really beginning to look good. It's gonna take a lot of work. We're gonna have a lot of welding to do. I'm just sort of thinking of the vast amount of work it is going to take me. But I hope you're enjoying what we've done so far, and if you have, consider maybe liking and subscribing to my channel. I'm really enjoying making this. I'm enjoying hearing what you guys have to think and say, so feel free, and I will see you in the next episode.